Looking at the Cumbria's side, Peter Stoddard is the fullback, Jim Dalton and David Beck are the wingers. The centre combination, Andy Whittle and John Jones. The standoff is Gary Smith, whose kicking will probably be a feature of the match. David Cairns is the halfback. Harold Henney, Alan Banks and Jeff Simpson the front row. The second row is Bill Pattinson and Gary Hetherington, and Milton Huddart is the loose forward. The replacements are Kevin Pape and Gary Nixon. The New Zealand side tonight is Vaughan O'Callaghan at fullback. The wings are Mark Bourneville and Mark Elia. The centre combination, Dean Bell and Ron O'Regan, who will be the captain. Shane Cooper is the standoff, Glenn Gibb the halfback. The front row, Ricky Cowan, Wayne Wallace and Ross Taylor. The second row is Adrian Shelford and James Goulding, and Sam Stewart is the loose forward. Replacements, Joe Ropati and Owen Wright. The match is underway. The referee tonight, Mr. Kay Allott of Southport. They're expecting a hard physical encounter tonight. A very young and inexperienced Kiwi side against these men from Whitehaven. Jeff Simpson that was tackled, and the penalty result. It's not a bad kick. It's made 15 to 20 metres. We watched this Cumbria side assembled as late as tonight with a training run a couple of hours ago. They look very fit and very sharp. Harold Henney, the big number 8. Dummy half, of course, Alan Banks, the hit. Already starting to look like they can make points, Cumbria.
I think Ross Taylor was pulled out there in actual fact for coming in after the tackle had been made on Simpson. And as a result of it, he's being talked to by the referee, and Regan, his captain, is there as well, so that the referee can administer an early warning.
Ross Taylor's first tour match. And as a result, they're going to have a shot. Gary Smith to attempt the conversion. The standoff for this Cumbria side. A good combination between himself and David Cairns, a very classy halfback. So a chance for Cumbria to go ahead early on. Whitehaven has certainly turned out in force tonight. The flags are up. So Cumbria go ahead through Gary Smith. 2 points up.
That would be the right sort of start that Cumbria want in actual fact, because they have players playing together for the first time.
Ricky Cowan looking to get the pass up. Managed to hold it that time. Wallace waiting. Gibb. Back to O'Regan. Sam Stewart. Wallace. Cooper. They really are going to need more cohesive play, the Kiwis. Goulding. Looking around, still getting the pass away. Cooper. Shelford. Back to Gibb. Dropped by Wallace, and a little off the ball play there.
I think at the moment in time, instead of, as you rightly say so, instead of coming onto the ball straight and tidying up a little with their handling, they're coming back inside and giving far too many passes at the moment on a very slippery surface.
James Goulding, another bustling run. Wallace. Shelford. They're certainly tying up Adrian Shelford. Gibb. Through Cooper. Dean Bell. Playing his first game of the tour tonight, Dean Bell. Pass went astray that time, and Cumbria in possession. Just 15 metres out from their line. Henny. He really has looked the danger man in this pack. Good tackle from Adrian Shelford on Hetherington. Ron O'Regan, the tackler, familiar in these parts, used to play for Barrow.
And that was a brilliant kick then by Gary Smith, which has gained Cumbria some 30 metres and has put them, for the first time for the last few minutes, back in an attacking position in the New Zealand half.
Seems that when the Kiwis do battle away and put the passes together and make the ground, it is all in vain as they get forced back again by the big kicks.
Scrummage offence there, and I'm rather surprised actually, because I would have thought that New Zealand are fairly good scrummagers, and to have committed an offence like that wouldn't have been in keeping with the way in which they've played for the tour so far.
Differential penalty, so the kick goes out. And now Cumbria with a real chance to attack. Simpson. Banks with the ball. This is Henny. Henny and Simpson are obviously going to try and punch the gaps. Both certainly look capable. Cairns. Pattinson. Ball goes astray, dived on by Mark Bourneville. That will come back for the first knock-on.
Both sides are having great difficulty at the moment in stringing passes together of any consequence, and as a result of it, the game is a little in fits and starts. There's no doubt about it, the Cumbrian side will be hell-bent on a victory here tonight, and in front of their own crowd as well. And as the evening goes on, no doubt the New Zealand side will be containing of 13 test players and not just one in Dean Bell at this moment.
The referee, Mr. Allett, is the first of the English referees we've seen who has really ensured that the scrums go down straight. One wonders if something has been said at a referees conference or something similar, because it's the first side we've seen that has been made to scrum down straight on with the Kiwi scrum. Cowan. That's a good kick if it bounces right for him. Racing back for it is Stoddart. And he'll run it back. Shell for the tackler. So once again, the Kiwis right up in the advantage. Kick coming through from Smith again. O'Callaghan's under it. And a burst of speed from him. Elio with a little double round with Ron O'Regan. Wallace waiting. Gibb. A head-high tackle on Ricky Cowan, but it's been let go. Wallace. Gibb. A high ball. Then Gibb racing over there to look for possession, but it's gone Cumbria's way.
I think you're right, both Simpson and Henny are doing a lot of spade work at the moment, and they're the only ones that are making any inroads into this New Zealand defence. Although Henny dropped that pass there.
just a little slow to trap that ball and pick it up. He made sure of it, but he was caught. Bourneville. Goulding. Wallace. Gibb. Shelford. Some strong running from Adrian Shelford tonight, but not being allowed to get the pass away. A little chip over from Gibb again. Very safely taken. Dalton. Seems that Peter Stoddart is going off. Now, they already had lost Lightfoot before the game had started. He was unfit. Their replacement back is Kevin Pape. We'll have to wait and see where he goes if he comes on. But it seems that Stoddart is leaving. So this Kiwi side 2-0 down. 24 minutes gone, first half. He's the speedster, Jim Dalton, on the right wing. A little chip through didn't work. Tidied up by Shane Cooper, running it back. Flicks the pass back to Shelford. Shelford looking around for the support. Opts to take the tackle. Coming wide now, O'Regan. In the line is O'Callaghan, and this is Bourneville. The tackle looked a little dangerous. O'Regan. Kiwis trying to keep it going.
Yes, it is an interesting feature of the game so far. The tackling on both sides is very, very keen, and as a result of it, no side has really made any real penetration.
Some players getting a little frustrated out of there. Referee not happy with the way that was hooked. Cairns to feed again. That time the scrum penalty going to Cumbria, a differential. As they try and make some yardage. A very shallow kick. It's made them 10 metres. Alan Banks waiting for the ball. Gets it from his opposite number, Wayne Wallace. Simpson. Henny. Kiwi tackling still good. Tackling on both sides, of course, has been very, very solid indeed so far. Ball went forward. Shane Cooper, the tackler. The ball going forward from the tackle. Scrum to go down 15 metres inside Kiwi territory. Kiwi possession. Ilya. Certainly no quarter being given in these tackles. Shelford flicks it wide. Ilya caught, plays it himself. Another couple of metres and another tackle. Ross Taylor waiting. It's the kick from Shane Cooper. A mad rush to get up under it. Sam Stewart pulls it out of the air. Are they going to give the try or not?
Well, that was a very interesting situation. New Zealand won the ball back, and the first bomb we've had tonight of any consequence, and much to the displeasure of the crowd, the Cumbrian crowd here tonight, the referee has awarded the try.
Despite your picture, it is very, very misty here tonight, just looking at it again.
Gibb went in to act in half-back, moved it out here to Shane Cooper. An excellent bomb, which went up to land near the posts of the Cumbrian side, was missed completely by a posse of players, bounced loosely away, then picked up by Sam Stewart, who dived over despite the attention of two Cumbrian players. A very good try.
Didn't look, in fact, as though he had got over the line, but the referee was right there on the spot and decided that it was a try. So first try of the tour for Sam Stewart. The Kiwis ahead 6-2. Shane Cooper made the initial tackle. Dean Bell came through, and he's going to be penalised for it.
I think it's a silly thing to do in actual fact, and one must say straight away that New Zealand have been guilty of this now on 2 or 3 occasions with the referee, of when the man is brought down to the floor, they still have a habit of coming in actual fact, and taking the man after he's been already laid low.
Headed for the line, and not a bad kick either. Appreciated by the crowd, taking them right up to the halfway. Cumbria's side looking to punch gaps, looking to attack at every opportunity, and certainly prepared to throw the ball around. A little too much occasionally. Shane Cooper in there very quickly and picks it up. Kiwi possession. Gibb to Shelford. Shelford still managing to get the ball away. And I might say that's part of the reason why Dean Bell came in over the top then, is that frequently when it appears that a tackle has been held, the players have been allowed to pass the ball. Dean Bell, this is the class man in the Kiwi side. The regular test player flicks it on to Sam Stewart for try number 2, very nearly. Just a metre short of the line now. That's really about the second time that Dean Bell had touched the ball in the game. And making a break very, very quickly with Sam Stewart in good support. Shane Cooper. Ross Taylor. And he has been given the try, Ross Taylor. Well, Sam Stewart very nearly scored try number 2 in as many minutes. But the Kiwis starting to pull out some advantage now, starting to put the passes together, and with minimum dropped ball. They were dropping a lot of ball in the first few moments of the game. 10-2 up, with a chance now for Vaughan O'Callaghan to make it 12.
And this is the break that we have now with Dean Bell, the first time he really has an opportunity, and look how he stands people still and then brings on the loose forward Sam Stewart, and Stewart nearly went over,
Young 19-year-old Vaughan O'Callaghan with a chance for the extra points, and he's gone to the right of the posts. So the score remains at 10 points to 2. Kiwis leading Cumbria.
So here we are, where the try came from. Number 10 goes in, Ross Taylor, and Taylor comes across the front of the line, darts between Simpson, and crashes over for an exceptionally good try. Yet again, all as a result of Dean Bell's initial break, which brought them into an attacking position, from which young Ross Taylor has now scored the Kiwis' second try.
Scrum goes down just 5 metres out from the Kiwis' line. Waiting for the ball, which landed right in the middle. Cumbria ball. Ken's running around the back, and he may just get there. The crowd rises to him, but he was well caught. Glenn Gibb, his opposite number, caught him.
This is where Ken's favourite position is, where he frequently darts from acting halfback. A very classy player.
Now they're going to spin it wide. Hudded, no way through there. Eddie almost making the break. Banks. Being flicked wide that time to Simpson.
There really hasn't been too much cohesion in the Cumbria backline at all. In actual fact, they're a little flat and throwing long passes, which are far too hard on a night like tonight.
The first turnover of the game. Cumbria having amassed 6 tackles and having to give opposition to the Kiwis.
Penalty has been awarded, in actual fact, to the Cumbria side. Must have been an offside situation from the acting halfback play the ball then. So Gary Smith again to attempt his 3rd shot at goal. He's already been successful with one and pulled his second one from a similar position rather badly.
Penalty for offside. Gary Smith now with a chance, a relatively easy one, and the flags are up, and that narrows the gap just a little. 10 points to 4. Still 2 tries to 0.
I did think the game would have been a little more exciting, and it has turned out to be at the moment. I think a lot of it is due to the fact it's the Kiwis' sort of second string, and Cumbria really haven't been cohesive at all in any of their movements.
Just 3 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half as the Kiwis lead by 10 to 4. Banks puts it back. Hudded with the kick, and there was a late charge on him. And the penalty results. It's a long kick for Gary Smith. If he can make advantage from it, this would make it 10 to 6. And the crowd rise to that. An excellent kick from Gary Smith. The Cumbria standoff. What a super kick.
It was a super kick, and one can only sympathise with the Kiwis at the moment, or should you sympathise really, because through their own over-eagerness in the tackle and giving away some silly penalties has really allowed Cumbria at this moment in time to claw their way back into the game. And despite their 2-try advantage, it's being slowly whittled away through their petulance that they're showing in some of the tackles.
Restart by Vaughan O'Callaghan. And Cumbria, knowing that that gap has been narrowed almost right on half-time, will take some confidence from it. 10 points to 6, so they're only a try away. And still it's Henny and Simpson who are doing most of the donkey work, taking the ball up. And they're the only two of the forwards really that have looked like making a gap and breaking that line. Good kick again. O'Callaghan going back for it, running it back up. Not with a great deal of speed and pace. Taylor on the ground, Wallace. Cooper. Ricky Cowan, a good pass to James Goulding. Goulding had Dean Bell running behind him, but he's lost it in the tackle. Cumbria possession. Dalton. Really is Henny and Simpson that are doing all the work in this Cumbria pack.
It really is, yes. They have little else to offer at this moment in time. Cairns hasn't done much running, and Huddett has only merely kicked to gain ground and gain yardage to get upfield, as he's doing yet again, which is another long kick down.
Vaughan O'Callaghan can't hold that one, but it's gone back and he'll run it up. Elia. Just a couple of minutes remain till half-time. The Kiwis leading 10 points to 6. 2 tries to 0, but silly mistakes have cost them penalties which have dragged it back through the excellent kicking of Gary Smith. O'Regan. Cooper. Shane Cooper running and jinking. Has Bourneville there. Flicks it out to Gibb, and Gibb is caught head high by Henny. Glenn Gibb not feeling very well at the moment. Looks a little dazed. The Kiwi tackling still holding. But Cumbria demonstrating that given a little bit of space, they can certainly make it work for them. Dean Bell, almost like a caged lion, having lived out his 9-week suspension. He's been walking around like a cat on a hot roof and looking forward with great zeal to tonight's match. Has been the official sandboy of the Kiwi team for the matches to date, and has handed over that task as the head sandboy to Mark Graham. Here's Vaughan Callaghan running up again. Running smack bang into Alan Banks. Bourneville.
He really is a strong fella, but the way in which those tackles are going in, I think Hallett should have gone in there then and penalised most certainly the Cumbrians for that type of tackle.
Dean Bell. There's the half-time hooter as Dean Bell takes the tackle, and the Kiwis go into the half-time break, leading by 10 points to 6. Only a try the difference at the moment, but the Kiwis have 2 tries to 0, and they have had that lead dragged back by making silly mistakes and giving away penalties, and the excellent kicking of Gary Smith, the Cumbria halfback, standoff should I say, has really made the difference. Here's the start of the second half, with the Kiwi side leading by 2 tries to 0, but having been dragged back with the penalties, 10 points to 6 is the score. The replacement in the second half. Milton Huddart has come off and Gary Nixon is on for Cumbria. And Owen Wright, who was warming up on the sideline, we think has come on. We'll check who he has replaced. Owen Wright, number 15 for the Kiwis, is the replacement. Nippy little running. Andy Whittle, one of the centres we've seen very little of in this match in the first half. Suddenly coming alive, ducking and diving.
Yes, I think Cumbria have now got to decide they've got to move the ball as much as they can and try and move it out to the centre of the field. They're getting nowhere at all down the middle through the efforts of both Henny and Jeff Simpson, but they've come to nothing in this first half, and of course they are now 4 points behind.
James Goulding, it seems, has been replaced by Owen Wright. So we would imagine that Owen Wright will fit into his normal position in the second row. When the first scrum goes down, we'll be able to see that for you. Bourneville. Adrian Shelford. Good run, linking up nicely with Ross Taylor. The Hornby club mates, and the third of them, Wayne Wallace.
Well, that's the first enterprise we've seen, and good backing up there.
Ron O'Regan flicks it out to Mark Elia, and Elia's there for the try.
Well, that was good New Zealand rugby, there's no doubt about that at all, and they've really come out this second half with a bang.
The 3 club mates from Hornby in Christchurch linking up there. Ross Taylor, Wayne Wallace and Adrian Shelford having some understanding as they play together on a club side in Christchurch. And the injured man we'll see in a moment. New Zealand physiotherapist Glenn Gallagher on the field attending to whom I can't quite see at the moment. In fact, it's Ron O'Regan, the captain. Looks like a leg injury. Fairly resilient sort of fellow. I don't imagine it'll keep him out for long. Bad luck for Vaughan O'Callaghan. It wasn't a bad sort of a kick, but bouncing back.
Hit both the upright and the crossbar in actual fact. Most unlucky. Most unlucky.
So 14 points to 6, the Kiwis lead, with a couple of minutes gone in the second half. One imagines the Kiwis will take heart from having scored their third try to 0. And already it's starting to fit together better for them. One wonders what Graham Lowe has said to them at half-time, in fact, but it certainly seems to have made them more cohesive. The fact that Owen Wright is on there won't do them any harm either.
It really has. They're being far more direct. The passes are going to hand and people are running it straight. And in fact, Ross Taylor has had some game tonight. He's had a very good try. He was instrumental in running 30 yards.
And he's just taken a head-high tackle. Seems to be up and okay. Vaughan O'Callaghan puts the ball out and makes them 15 metres.
There's no doubt a good performance tonight will put the New Zealanders in good heart for Saturday's test.
They've got plenty of support from the rest of the team. They've all come over tonight. Sam Stewart trying to kick it through there. Still Henny and Simpson doing the majority of the work for this Cumbria pack. Vaughan O'Callaghan safe. Pass from Wayne Wallace to Mark Elia going forward. It looked fairly marginal, but Mark Elia coming through at very good pace.
Yes, I think he's stuttered a little at in the half-back there and allowed him to run past him before actually slipping the ball.
Cairns. Looking it wide, they're looking at every opportunity. Crowd didn't like Sam Stewart's tackle. David Beck looking the better of the two wingers. Loose pass. Dived on very quickly by Ricky Cowan. And the Kiwis in possession again.
There's 14 interfering at the play the ball there and has given a penalty. I'm rather surprised he's given it to Cumbria, and I thought it was most certainly a penalty to New Zealand then for interfering with Ron Cowan attacked in half-back.
I don't understand that ruling at all, David.
If we see it here when Ricky Cowan now just drops on the ball here now and picks it up. A good retriever of the ball, and quite frankly I would have thought that he should have really penalised Cumbria for taking the man who was playing the ball. In actual fact, he's given it the other way, obviously for interference.
Kevin Pape interfering. Well, we'll put that one down to experience, as I'm sure the Kiwis will. Ricky Cowan looked to be making good advantage of loose ball and simply falling on it. Got up to play it. Not to worry. The referee's in charge. Henny once again running the ball up. And Cumbria still trying to flick it around. If they continue to do it in that manner, they're going to pay the penalty.
They really are. They are lacking direction behind. I'm a little bit disappointed with David Cairns because he is such a good halfback and he usually does inflict some excitement into a match, but he most certainly hasn't done it tonight. He's just been happy and contented to feed the ball only without making any of his darting runs.
Once again, Mr. Allop making sure that scrum goes down straight. Coming this time the Kiwis' way. Glenn Gibb running from the base of the scrum. Dean Bell waiting. Owen Wright. Ross Taylor. Cooper. Shelford running through. He's had a good game tonight, Adrian Shelford. Ricky Cowan.
He's had a good game. I was very impressed with him actually at Hull Kingston Rovers. He's a very strong forward and really runs his weight.
6 feet 1 and 16 stone. And really very, very fit at the moment, Ricky Cowan. Ross Taylor. Oh, right with a little chip through, didn't find the line. And being run back at them. Crowd appreciating the energy in the run. Once again, it was Beck. Still Simpson and Henny doing the toiling.
They have become a little predictable, and the New Zealand defence are wrapping them up quite easily now.
Kick just too quick and ahead of Vaughan O'Callaghan, and Cumbria make good advantage. Scrum to go down almost inside the Kiwis' 22. Coming back the Kiwis' way though, Cooper. O'Callaghan. Good tackle. Gibbs a little double round with Ron O'Regan. Wayne Wallace to Bourneville.
They really are putting their game together well now, New Zealand, from the set pieces as well as from loose play.
Adrian Shelford having the game of his life. Didn't manage to get the pass back, but the referee has waved. Tackle count back to 0.
Yes, it was partially intercepted by a Cumbrian player and just knocked down to the floor.
Vaughan O'Callaghan up in the line again. Ending up with Mark Bourneville. O'Regan. That's not a bad bomb, just looking at where it's gone. The knock on and the advantage being played.
Well, they were unfortunate there. There's no doubt at all about it that the bomb has caused a lot of uncertainty with the Cumbria side. And yet again, we saw it when Whittle failed to capture the ball, rolled loose, and they were rather unfortunate. Only a wild pass. Otherwise, Elia would have been in at the corner.
Dean Bell getting the ball up well from ground level, but the pass not quite finding Mark Elia. It would be hard to attribute the increased cohesion in this Kiwi pack to the presence of Owen Wright since half-time, but it seems that it has coincided with his presence. Vaughan O'Callaghan. Dean Bell. Saw a little bit of space there, thought he'd have a run through. Caught by Banks and Payne. Sammy Stewart. Adrian Shelford again, loses it and dives on it again, but it went forward.
They really are worked together, as you say. This second half has really seen them turn around. They're playing with far more confidence, running straighter and offloading the ball as well, and they've been rather unfortunate on one or two occasions it hasn't gone to hand.
Scrum goes down, 25 metres into Cumbria territory. New Zealand leading 14-6, 3 tries to 0. And once again, Mr. Allett ensuring that the front rows go down straight. He's had a lot to say about these scrums, this time penalising New Zealand. Come back for the knock on.
They really have been somewhat of a disappointment. I would have thought that Cumbria would have come out brimming with fire, but they haven't done just that. They haven't hardly got their game together at all.
Yes, the penalty for striking early against Wayne Wallace, the Kiwi hooker. Kiwis forced back into their own half. Cumbria really being urged by the crowd to run it at them. Would have been a good pass had it made contact, but Owen Wright there to pick it up very quickly. Dean Bell. Right. being given to Rick Cowan. Ricky Cowan for the line. One of several kickers in this Kiwi side. It's not a bad one. That's made them 10 to 12 metres. Taylor. Ball going loose and dived on very quickly. The referee's not going to allow it.
Well, he did look to his linesman. His linesman gave him the decision, or made the decision for him in actual fact, which has resulted in a scrum down.
So the scrum almost on the Cumbria 22. Cairns looking to probe around the base of the scrum, and Glenn Gibb equal to the task, wrapping him up. That's the replacement forward for Cumbria, number 15. Gary Nixon. A bit of running now. Andy Whittle that time.
The referee's awarded a penalty in actual fact for obstruction on a player off the ball incident, which has allowed Gary Smith again to elect to kick for goal. We'll look at it.
Looking at the kicks he has already had, it's well within his range. So Smith with another kick that's within his range, but away to the right. So the score remains at 14 to 6, the Kiwis leading. Takes a lot to take Ross Taylor out of a game. The young man from Hornby in Christchurch has had a number of encounters like that back on his home territory. Ricky Cowan. Taylor straight up again and running the ball up. Elia coming through and picking up the ball, making sure it didn't go out. Appeared to be rolling to the sideline. Adrian Shelford wrapped up 3-on-1. Cooper through O'Regan. Dean Bell. Dean Bell looking around to put the pass up. Goes back to Taylor. And to Adrian Shelford. Shelford looked for all the world as though he was going to score a try.
In fact, they've given him the try, so he must have crossed the line in actual fact.
Once again, looked like the first try of the match. Very difficult to see from here with the mist whether or not the try line, which is very poorly marked anyway, has been crossed. It looked as though he was a metre short.
You can just see the trier. Dean Bell held in the tackle here. Is held by two people. Simpson in particular misses him now. Dean held by one leg, throws out a pass, which bounces first time, picked up by Ross Taylor yet again. And Taylor makes a break, draws Henny in, and Shellard takes it right through to the line, held back by Jones and Gary Smith. And although we can't actually see from here where the line really is, the referee has little, if any, doubt at all as he points down to a try.
So the try awarded to Adrian Shelford. Joe Rawparty putting the extra points there in the absence of Vaughan O'Callaghan. So the score 20 points to 6. Ricky Cowan can kick goals. Joe Rawparty, Vaughan O'Callaghan. look at Mark Bourneville just run through that defence. Whether or not he can get to the try line.
He's well brought down by Gary Smith, but what an excellent run. Something like 70 metres, really. He's striding through the defence.
Just splitting them apart. We saw it at Wigan. And we saw it at Hull Kingston Rovers. Owen Wright still looking to get that pass away. Decides in the end to sit down and hold it with him. Dean Bell looking to pass up. Ron O'Regan, a little chip through and chasing it, beaten by Dalton. This really has been a coming of age for Mark Bourneville, who has been accused by crowds in New Zealand and many of the critics of having very poor hands. We haven't seen a sign of it on this tour, and all the other qualities that he have really improved. Immensely strong, and with a real burst of pace, he has bust open the defence lines more often than any other player in this tour. Cooper putting the pass back. Elia. Mark Elia, ducking and diving, brought down just a metre or so short of the line. It's really starting to look easy for the New Zealanders now, and dotting down that time was Shane Cooper.
Ross Taylor again at the heart of that, and it really does seem at this moment in time that they've really worn down this Cumbrian side and have scored tries now as and when they want to.
A simple kick there for Joe Ropati. And that makes it 26-6.
Cooper rushes in, picks it up, throws a ball back inside to Mark Elia. He sidesteps, runs outside the man. Watch him come back inside here. A very good run. Simpson can't catch him. He sidesteps in again. Is brought down here under two Cumbrian tackles. Wallace in to act in halfback. To Ross Taylor again. Taylor going yet again to Ross in this movement. Flips it out. A good ball again to Shane Cooper, who crosses under the post.
The restarters, this Cumbria side, are being split apart. The Kiwis up now by 32 points to 6. And the Cumbrians yet to score a try. All of their points coming from the boot of Gary Smith. Adrian Shelford just recovering from his injury. And while we were in the replay, the Kiwis, straight from the kickoff, raced up and scored another try as they have split this Cumbria defence wide open. And the final score, 32 points to 6. Joe Ropati adding the extra points again. Another excellent try from this Kiwi side that took a long time to get mobile and really looked rather ordinary in the first half. In the second half, they came out and looked a great deal more composed. They didn't drop any passes. They put them together, and they certainly started to put the play together. And in the second half of the second half, they really just ran rampant. There was no question at all that Cumbria were going to be able to contain them, and the likes of Adrian Shelford and Shane Cooper and Mark Elia just split them apart.